They're waiting on you, Josh. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Our secretary recorder is ready. Looking through the pews, it looks like we have a quorum, which would be a quarter of our past average attendance, which averages around 79 to 80, so we are good. So thank you all, and I will call this meeting to order. In order to get us started, I'd like to invite Michelle for an opening prayer.
Please pray with me. Gracious and holy God, we gather today with gratitude for this church, this community, and this moment. As we begin our meeting, we pause to remember the words of Jesus in Matthew 5, that we are called to be the salt of the earth and light of the world. Lord, make us be mindful of that calling today. Strengthen us to bring flavor, preservation, and hope to the world around us. Shine through us so that our decisions, our discussions, and our actions reflect your love, your justice, and your mercy. As we look back on the year behind us, help us to see the ways your Spirit has guided us, sometimes boldly, sometimes quietly. And as we look ahead, open our hearts to your vision. Give us creativity where new ideas are needed, courage where change is required, patience where we differ, and unity in all things that serve you. Bless every person gathered here and bless the ministries of Olmsted Community Church. May the work we do today deepen our commitment to be your people, people who shine light into shadows, people who preserve what is good, people who live out your word with integrity and joy. God, be present in our conversations, steady our deliberations, and honored by all we do. We offer this time to you, seeking not our own way, but your way. Amen.
Thank you. If we could all join together in song to bring us all together in spirit.
There are many gifts, but the same Spirit. There are many hands, but the same Lord. There are many works, but the same God who empowers them all. Oh, there are many gifts, but the same Spirit. There are many hands, but the same Lord. There are many works, but the same God who empowers them all. Oh, we won't be divided. We are a house united. We won't be divided. We are a house united. We are many parts, but the same body. We have many songs, but one voice. We have many hearts, but the same love, uniting them all. Oh, we won't be divided. We are a house united. We won't be divided. We are a house united. We won't be divided. We are a house united. We won't be divided. We are a house united. United. Your people are my people. Your church will be my church. Your children are my brothers and my sisters. Your people are my people. Your church will be my church. Your children are my brothers and my sisters. Your people are my people. Your church will be my church. Your Your children are my brothers and my sisters. Your people are my people. Your church will be my church. Your children are my brothers and my sisters. We won't be divided. We are a house united. We won't be divided. We are a house united. We won't be divided. We are a house united. We won't be divided. We are a house united. We won't be divided. We are a house united. We won't be divided. We are a house united. United. We are a house united.
Thank you, and thank you all. I'd like to welcome everyone to this annual meeting and thank all of you for your time and commitment, not just at this meeting, but all year. This church could not accomplish everything we do without the efforts of each and every one of you. Your prayers, your financial commitment, your volunteerism, leadership, and participation in worship. However you connect with us, you are a vital part of Olmsted Community Church. As leadership, we have been intentional in our efforts to communicate and collaborate. Looking ahead, I hope that our structure provides opportunities for people to actively join in various aspects of ministry or programming that appeal to them. And realize that by doing this, you are a part of a committee and larger effort. Whether you assist with communion, volunteer to teach our youth once a month, help with the groundskeeping, host fellowship time at coffee hour, whatever it may be, doing any of these or countless other things, you make a difference and are part of our accomplishments. Pastor Stephen is going to give us some updates and a bit more insight about things, so I'm not going to take too much time reviewing things now. But please be sure to take a moment to read the annual report. There's copies floating around, and they're also going to be made available to everyone. Each group has taken time to highlight their work from the past year, and it tells quite an impressive story about who we are. At this time, I'd like to invite Pastor Stephen to offer us a state of the church.
Thank you, Mary. So several years ago, I started to give these annual addresses to put in a bit more detail how our church is doing. Because as a pastor, what I run into a lot is people who like to look in the rearview mirror. And what happens when you look in the rearview mirror? You only see a portion of what's behind you. And we can be really selective about what that... Hey, Milo, how's it going? We can be really selective about what that portion is, and we can kind of get in a negative mindset about not seeing the things that we want to see because we're looking for that little piece, right? And so we started giving these annual addresses to put in more detail how our church is doing. And I received quite a bit of positive feedback on them, and we didn't have one last year, and I'll explain that a little bit more later. So I was asked when we would do one again and whether or not they'd do one this year. So I want to start by talking about impact. On any given Sunday, we can have over 10 children under 2 with us in worship. We might not always see that because they're upstairs. That's huge, though. We can have over 10 children under 2 and under with us in worship. And we are offering child Sunday school and youth programs that do fluctuate greatly in attendance, but they are needed because we have that community that we are trying to serve. And however, regardless of how many children and youth are there, they always have a great impact, not just on the children, but on the adults who are helping lead them. This past year, for the first time in 5 years, we held a confirmation class. We've also had multiple baptism, and we've had a number of new members. And as well, we have celebrated the lives of quite a few saints of our congregation. In this past year, in 2025, we've had recorded with us 4,167 people worshiping together, which comes to an average of 79 worshipers a service. This brings us back to the same numbers that our church had in 2018, which is huge. It's absolutely huge when you look at the landscape of the church and look at the statistical trends of downward slopes for many mainline congregations, and we are heading back to pre-pandemic numbers. Our YouTube channel has 377 subscribers. When I first wrote this 2 weeks ago, it was 376. I checked again last night, and we gained one since then. So 377, of which 44 joined in 2025. And we have had 8,439 views on our page, and we streamed nearly 77 hours of live worshipful content. Yeah, I was like, these are big things. I don't know why we're so down about this. We receive views from 14 different states and 4 countries, U.S., Canada, Ukraine, and Italy. I figure I know who the Italy one is. Michelle went on vacation there last year. Now, online giving is really helpful, too. Of the over $210,000 in undesignated contributions to our church and our ministry, over $90,000 came from a form of online donation. Online donation has grown significantly in the last 5 years. Only less than $7,000 came as cash, and the rest were checks, a lot of which are mailed through to the church through bill pay. But there is much space for increased generosity. In 2025, we had 126 unique giving families, and we have around 330-ish families as members who are active in the congregation. Now, the top 15 giving families give half of all of our undesignated income, all of our tithes and offerings. The 15 top families give half of that. And the mean amount donated, and we do mean instead of average because we have some anomalies at the top end that would kind of skew the average. So if we take all of our donors, we take out the $0 ones, all of the other donors, and we come right into the middle, the mean amount donated is less than $700 for the year. So I want you to think just a little bit about what you pay for your cell phone coverage or what your video game budget might be or TV or streaming costs, and how many other parts of our life do we give more than $700 a year or $58 a month or $13 a week? That's the mean. So there is room for greater impact. There is room for greater generosity. And our church has a reach far greater than we realize. In my capacity as pastor, I'm like an executive director of a nonprofit, and I work in partnership with our staff and our governing board, our guiding board, to make sure that all is moving and working together, and that involves me seeking out education, resource materials on best practices, networking with community partners and our denominational affiliates, and bringing that info back to help educate and empower our own lay leadership. Nobody would want to be a volunteer if you had to do all of that legwork too. So my hope is to make it easier for volunteers that all do a lot of that legwork and bring some of that information to you to assist. And I could go on and on about so many ministries of the church because we have such great and wise, thoughtful, deep leadership in our church right now. And so I am so very, very grateful. I could list all of you and thank you all, but I really want to lift up our officers who do so much. And so I'm so grateful for the ministry. And you're going to have to stand for this too, if possible. I'm so grateful for the ministry and work of Mary as our president, of Michelle as our vice president, of Judy as our treasurer, and as Bonnie as our secretary. We wouldn't be the church we are without the 4 of you and the work that you all do. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You can stand as long as you want, or you can. And I could go on and on about our boards and our committees as well, and I'm not going to have all of you stand too. But as Mary said, they put together wonderful reports, and they are all of our leaders are open to further discussion with anyone who has any questions or has any genuine interest in the work that we do to further Christ's mission together. So please reach out in those spaces. I became your pastor in May of 2020. In that first summer, we worshiped mainly online. One of my first big things was, how do we open the church and how do we do it safely? And the building was pretty empty, and throughout those months, I got to walk the grounds, and I spoke with some of our leadership about the need to increase accessibility and fix some deteriorating parts of our grounds. Oddly enough, what surprised me was I was actually met with some resistance. And I became aware in that process of our relationship with the Harding Family Charitable Trust that was established with the death of 2 longtime members in the Harding sisters. And so I asked our leadership at the time if I could become the point of contact with the trust to learn some more. And we had applied for a couple of grants through them several years before that during the last capital campaign of the church, but we hadn't done anything since then. And so, in my working with the trust and asking our staff and lay leadership what projects need to be addressed, I've applied for, on behalf of the church, projects every single year that I have been pastor here. And the trust has approved some of the requests every single year to the amount of $1,381,821. This has been a huge blessing that has allowed us to do so much and to alleviate so much stress from our leadership. Through the years, we have fixed the ceiling in our sanctuary that was falling down and painted the whole sanctuary. Now you're all looking up, right? Is it still up there? It would have fallen kind of like right where the nags are. But we fixed all of that. We updated our preschool classrooms, painted the whole downstairs, updated tech opportunities in the classrooms. We've been able to get all of our lighting and streaming technology in the sanctuary as well as in our conference room, replaced our lift and purchased our own carillon. We've invested in repairs and upkeep and additions to our organ and made the console modular. We waterproofed and put in new drainage all around the building, got all new concrete for around the building, made better ramps and accessibility, fixed the pillars in the front of the church, and rhino shielded the exterior of the building, opened up the chancel, expanded the steps, made the chancel into a single floor. I'll give you a little bit more on that project later. And updated the sanctuary HVAC to more efficient heat pumps and furnaces, updated all of our tech for staff, replaced and repaired many interior door locks, added a locking mechanism to the parking lot door, and more. We've also been approved for this year's grant cycle, and we are receiving $330,900 for a fully renovated kitchen, adding and replacing our HVAC throughout the rest of the building, so everywhere in the building will have air conditioning and heat. Yeah, if you're here during the week in the summer, that's a good thing to hear. And some new furniture for the preschool. Our trustees, preschool, and guiding boards are already working to put this grant into action. So I thank you all for that. Last year, Mary and I were hoping that by delaying this report from the annual meeting a couple of months, we'd be able to give you an update on a lawsuit that the church is involved in. River Floors Incorporated filed a lien against the church after we, in consultation with a construction and contract lawyer, terminated services with them. Mary and I met with the owner and tried to come to a reasonable settlement. That did not work out, and he filed a lien. 2 years later, and we still do not have a settlement. A bench trial took place on August 4th, and the judge has not yet made a ruling. You could read along with the trial on the Cuyahoga County docket website, and you can pull up a civil search and type in Olmsted Community Church and read all the documentation there, and there is a lot. So you can be there for a while. If you have further questions, please schedule a time to meet with Mary and me. And the church has not, what I want to make clear is that the church has not initiated any of the legal proceedings. We are the defendant, and we haven't taken any of these decisions lightly. Once a ruling has been made, we will host a discussion session with the congregation. Now I want to shift gears a bit, and I want to talk about our awesome staff, without whom none of who we are would be possible at the level that we do it. Our longest running ministry outside of communal worship is our preschool. Our preschool is unique in so many ways. We have teachers who have been here so long and are so committed to this ministry that they're teaching their students, kids. I would like to invite the director of our preschool, Melanie Reynolds, to come forward and share some of the work that she, the preschool staff, and the preschool board are doing to ensure the thriving of this vital ministry. Please welcome up Melanie.
Good morning. You're a lot more intimidating to me than my preschoolers. Not because it's you, but my forte is not public speaking, but I'm going to do my best to bring you up to date for some things that are happening in the preschool that we think that you all need to know. So post-pandemic, we have not had the same registration and enrollment that we have had in the preschool prior to the pandemic. And some of those things, there are some different things that have affected our registration and enrollment. One of them is the public school has tripled in size their preschool program right in our community, which has greatly affected our enrollment. So we have been very fortunate since the pandemic to also apply and receive grant money and grant funds for specifically the preschool through ODJFS, and that has really helped us not only improve our preschool and all of the things in our preschool program, the curriculum, the manipulatives, the things in the classroom, but also help to sustain us during our deficit. We've had a deficit the last year and a half in preschool. So there has been much discussion for several months with the preschool board, with our preschool families. We have shared a survey with our current preschool families, former preschool families. I have talked at length in the finance board meeting with Pastor Stephen and with our preschool board. And the preschool board put in some legwork and reached out to other area preschools about things they were doing and things they were offering. And for our next school year, the board voted on and approved and then sent it on to the guiding board to review and vote on, and they also approved it. But we are going to be offering a longer school day for our pre-K program, which really seemed to be a want and a need for our preschool families, both current and previous. I am really happy to share, we have already started registration for this school year, and based on our registration of where we're at this school year compared to last school year, we are 7 students ahead. And we have many months to go until we start school. So this will help balance our budget. We are going to have a longer pre-K day. We are going to offer a morning 3s class, a morning pre-K class, the traditional 2.5 hours, and the longer pre-K class is going to be 4.5 hours. Had to think about that for a minute. If we need to, we will add afternoon classes, but we would have to have a strong commitment for that because our afternoon classes is where our enrollment seems to have gone down. I will share with you, I do know of 2 church preschools that have closed locally. I have been invited to multiple sales of other programs because they are closing down and getting rid of, their things. I'm very, very thankful that we're here. And I believe that we have a lot of growth in our future by making changes to serve our community better. So I wanted to share that with you. We're going strong. We're looking forward. It's hard to believe we're thinking about 2026, 2027 already. I would be one of those people that's been here long enough to see the students of the students. So, and many families do come here. I recently had a phone call and somebody wanted to register and I said, would you like a tour? She said, oh no, I went there as a child. We are known in our community. We are 66 or 67 years. I would love to know the actual year, but it was either 1958 or 1959 that this preschool started. So we are known in this community. We have served the community for years, and we hope to serve the community for many more years. I am here a lot. If you ever have any questions about the preschool program, about the goings-on of the preschool, about anything that I just shared with you, please feel free to call me or email me. I am always happy to talk about the preschool. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. I want to talk a bit more about our staff. Originally, a lot of our staff was going to be at the first meeting, but we had to cancel because of the weather. And now a number of them are ill today. But some of our staff is here, and so when I mentioned you, if you could please stand, that would be great. So I want to talk about commitment to the church from our staff in 2025. Our church administrator, Nicole Humphrey, works diligently to improve the flow of all our ministries. If you serve in a leadership position in the church, you know this to be true, that she helps in so many ways. She is the hub at the center of making sure all things flow and go well. She's eager to learn new ways, improve best practices, look up information, do the groundwork, and assist in any way that she can. She's always good for a smile, a hug, and a prayer as well. And almost every day I have to say it's 3 o'clock, you need to go home, because she just wants to keep making sure everything's done for everybody. And it's such a great blessing to have Nicole as our church administrator. Josh Hess is our church musician. He's here. He not only provides accompaniment to our choir and our services, he also maintains our instruments. He has been the personal tuner of our, and I will probably not pronounce this correctly, Cassavant Frères? Okay. Organ for the last several years. And he recruits volunteers to help do these repairs too. He's taken down pipes and redone them, put them up, done leathering, done all kinds of work that's back in here. And if you have any questions about it and you want to meet somebody who is absolutely passionate about being a good steward of this wonderful instrument that we've been blessed with, please ask Josh a question. And he'll give you answers and probably pictures too. They might even invite you back there to take a look. But he puts in so many additional hours in being a great steward of this instrument and for sharing, and we're just so blessed for him to share his musical gift with us. Katie Nahr is our worship leader. In addition to working with our choir and helping to lead our hymns and songs on Sundays, she has helped in massive ways with the growing of Vacation Bible School ministry, volunteering to help see the flourishing of this ministry. That is not part of her job description. She stepped into that above and beyond what she was asked to do because she believes in the ministry of the church. Mary Howell is our newest staff member as our custodian, and I did see her here, so she can go ahead and stand. She is the one that will work diligently to remove all the salt that you guys tracked in here today. In addition to everything that she does, she cleans, she does trash, all the custodial work. Her daughter has attended our preschool, and another one is in the upcoming play. Mary is also a kind person, and when she sees something that needs to be done, she does it whether she's on the clock or not. And she probably doesn't want me to share this, but she's done things like shovel snow, found ways to save on costs, brought in multiple cleaning tools to help the church, and she's also a great prayer partner whenever anything's going on in the life of our staff. And she even regularly attends and participates in trustee board meetings. Thank you, Mary. Annette Shoemaker is our nursery coordinator. She gives so much love to our littlest ones. Her presence has helped grow our nursery program to the point where we need a second helper. She also regularly cleans and sanitizes all the toys, maintains a bulletin board, sends birthday cards to the children of the church, and made an ornament for every family that was in the nursery this year. And Kim Pedersen, who is here, is our bell and chime choirs director. Well, actually, she's our bell choir director, and she loves music and helping our young ones learn about it so much that she does the chime choir too. She helps so many of our youth to find voice in music and service, and she helps our adults bring a joyful noise into worship too. And then we have our preschool teachers, Sarah DeBecke, Kelly Fries, Dawn Frazier, Donna Gillette, and Paula Reggie. They all maintain their standards for teaching, do a wonderful job of providing safe, loving, faith-filled learning environments for the children of our community, and they all give of their own time, their own money, and their own energy to decorate, supply, and maintain their very interactive and fun classrooms. And then, of course, Melanie Reynolds. As our preschool director, she is the most caring person overseeing a ministry that I think I've ever met. She wants to do what is best for every child, for every family, and for our whole church and community. Melanie is a great leader who is helping us cast a new vision for the future of this ministry, and I'm grateful for all the time and energy she puts in, especially knowing it's way above and beyond what she is hired for. She does it all out of love. I share all of this with you because I don't think we're all aware that we have a staff of 13 people. And they are fully invested in the ministry of our church and have given above and beyond in 2025. And we go together above and beyond time and time again in service to Christ through our church. So my hope is that in 2026, our whole membership will see the impact and be committed in similar ways as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all of the staff and everybody who contributes to make this church what it is. Okay, so now we're going to get into the business of the meeting. There's some documents kind of floating around out there to pass and share and review. This has also been made available to you prior to this meeting, and we've had some informational sessions to discuss some of these things. So hopefully everybody is feeling fairly well prepared. The first item is to approve the past meeting minutes, which would cover our January 26, 2025 congregational meeting, as well as our September 14th, 2025 special meeting. Is there someone who will make a motion? Bruce, thank you. Second? Bruce, you already did it. You can't do it again. Denise, thank you. Bruce. And then Denise is second. Any questions about those? Any discussion? Those in favor? Any opposed? Thank you much. Next, we're going to get into two items of new business that we need to cover. I will present the item and call for a motion, and then once the motion's been seconded, then we'll open the floor to any further questions or discussion. The first is a small language change that this got added after the initial announcements went out, but has been running with some of the other announcements since then. It is a proposed change to the Constitution. It is a proposal to amend the Constitution that will read as follows, and I'm going to give a brief explanation. The language change would be, language in the Constitution and bylaws of Olmsted Community Church may be edited or revised, such as housekeeping changes, with approval from the guiding board, without bringing the item to a congregational vote, so long as the changes do not affect the intended meaning of the articles. Let me give you some examples. That would mean things such as gender-neutral or inclusive language, such as changing anywhere that it may say him to him, her, or person. Simple grammar or spelling corrections that we may find. Or minor title changes, so long as the role and function is not impacted. Having heard the language and explanation, is there a motion? Kelly, thank you. Second? Thank you, Ken. If there are questions or further discussion, Ken, I'm sorry. Please raise your hand and we'll have someone bring you a mic. Questions? Okay, seeing none, those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you much. And I should have mentioned that anybody who did send in your votes ahead of time, those have been recorded and received, so we will be including those in our tallies as well. The second item of business is our 2026 ministry plan or budget. As shared a couple of weeks ago, this budget has been developed in collaboration with all members of leadership, reviewed by the guiding board, and now is being brought to the congregation for a vote. A copy was made available prior to this meeting, and there are a few copies floating around if you'd like to review it now. We've already discussed the highlights and answered some questions, but for the record, I'd like to invite Judy, our treasurer, up to review things one more time before we vote.
Hello. Oh, a quick review if you want. You have the copies of the budget there. So I'm just going to go over some of the highlights, some of the things that have changed this year in our ministry plan compared to last year. So one of the things we did, we added a COLA, cost of living increase of 2.8%. It was applied to all salaried staff. We also added an associate pastor mid-year. So the full-time position budgeted at an annual salary of $75,000 is brought on this summer for $35,000 for the year. We've added our theater ministry to Worship Life. Advocacy ministry was added as a sub of the outreach program. So we have missions and advocacy now. That's budgeted, planned at, like we tithe, 10% of church income is what that amounts to in total. We created a new guiding board department, and that group will oversee common expenses, including insurance and special events that are cross-church events. And as Melanie mentioned, this preschool will continue to run at a deficit for the end of this school year, but next year the plan is to adjust so that they run at a break even. Yeah, so those are the main changes. Are there any questions? Good. Yay.
Don't go too far in case they change their mind about the questions. Judy's my numbers person. Having had a chance to review the budget and hear a brief explanation, is there a motion? Denise, thank you. Is there a second? Tom, thank you. Any further questions or discussion? Great. Those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all very much. Denise and then Tom. Thank you. Okay, that is the business of our meeting. Thank you all for your time and attention, not only today, but in the weeks prior to be prepared for that. I am now going to invite Pastor Stephen up to offer a closing prayer and catch my grandson.
Thank you all. We should be more excited and enthusiastic about it. Yeah. Not about the end of the meeting, but about the start of another year of great ministry together. I want to share with you a prayer for the close of this meeting by Jack Reamer. Will you please pray with me? We cannot merely pray to you, O God, end war, for we know that you have made the world in a way that we must find our own path to peace within ourselves and within our neighbors. We cannot merely pray to you, O God, to end starvation, for you have already given us the resources with which to feed the entire world if we would only use them wisely. We cannot merely pray to you, O God, to root out prejudice, for you have already given us eyes with which to see the good in all people, if only we would use them rightly. We cannot merely pray to you, O God, to end despair, for you have already given us the power to clear away slums and to give hope, if we would only use our power justly. We cannot pray to you, O God, to end disease, for you have already given us great minds with which to search out cures and healings, if only we would use them constructively. Therefore, we pray to you instead, O God, for strength, determination, and willpower, to do instead of just to pray, to become instead of just merely to wish. Amen.
All right, having taken care of all of our business, is there a motion to adjourn? Denise, is there a second? Barb. Milo says we're adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.